Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. There is no intro this week because I'm lazy
Yes.
and I'm. God damn it, Terry. And I'm changing computers, so I don't want to fucking do anything.
No, no,
So
no, no. You
that's.
don't. You don't have to explain. Just the lack of an intro is thanks enough.
Oh, Lord Jesus Christ. Um, Tonight we have Mitch Nemo with us. But before that, I would like to show James' GoFundMe. J- James is having a hard time. His stripper money isn't coming in like he thought it would, and he doesn't want to work the pole anymore. So he needs a little help.
Well, a bear can only do what a bear can do. I'm cuddly.
Wow.
I'm
I,
too
I, I
fat to do
know,
the stripper tricks anymore.
I know, James. I know. They moved you to the morning shift on Monday. It's okay. I understand.
On Wednesdays. Do you
Oh
know
my
how many
God!
people? They don't. The Baptists don't come in on Wednesdays.
He's not even B team. He's like Z team. Oh my God, James.
I know.
Does that
I
mean
tried
Please
to
don't.
turn on a lesbian that just got out of prison, and she wasn't interested.
Oh Lord.
Wow.
Please
Don't
donate
make
to
me work.
James GoFundMe.
Please don't make me work the pole anymore, Pimp Daddy Tier.
Suck
Oh
it.
my gosh.
Get back to the poll. God damn it.
Don't make me work the pole, Pimp Daddy Tier. I promise I'll be good.
Shut up. Go back to that goddamn poll.
I'll be good, Daddy. Better stop before Angela gets really upset.
this stream is brought to you by Rednecks of America?
Right? Thank you, Mitch.
Well,
See you
where if you
all.
can't help your cousin, you ain't doing it right.
Yep. But in all seriousness, he needs a little help. Following a few rough times, and please consider donating. Um.
Hmm.
Again, there's no intro because again I'm a lazy fuck. So let's just hop into it. Hey Mitch, how you doing?
I guess I'm doing all right.
Well, that's
Still
good to
struggling
hear.
with getting all the stuff down for my Halloween. It's turning into a goddamn essay. Is my problem, and I think I may have to just step the hell away from it.
Mitch is writing his doctoral thesis.
Yeah, it feels like that sometimes. It's not really that complicated, but my brain insists, because of experience, that I have to keep reiterating certain things.
Okay.
And it's because I'm familiar with game forums, I think, more than anything else. Where you're like,
Mhm.
hey, how come we don't have a quick button to turn off this thing? And then someone will come in and say, you can turn it off by going through the settings, selecting videos, then selecting. Yeah, quick button, motherfucker. I know the actual procedure. I'm looking for a quick button. It's stuff like that. And I'm just convinced that I have to keep explaining that the stuff I'm talking about behind the scenes is never going to make it on screen.
Yeah.
Because
You never know.
because it's a filmmaker thing. As a filmmaker, you have to know things behind the scenes that the audience will never see and may only guess at. So you'd have to, your crew, and everyone involved in the project has to know some things. And I'm beginning to see that it's kind of a pain in the ass to make sure those things don't get out.
Oof.
But here, I'm the reason I'm coming forward with what happens is because I want people to understand that I have a way to make the Halloween franchise consistent. But that's the cross I'm bearing this week and last week and several weeks prior.
In the next couple of weeks.
Probably.
I pulled my hair out today.
Wow.
All right. We have 3 articles that I found interesting. One is from this week, as I was perusing Twitter, and the other 2 are holdovers from like the last 3 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. Angela is and so kindly as to read the first one, the Pope.
No.
Let me know when you're ready.
I'll put it up on screen.
Captain
Heck,
Communist.
I will. See, my voice is back.
Yep.
Groovy.
He wants to destroy it already.
Can y'all see it?
Yep.
Okay, there you go.
All right.
Angela, the floor is yours.
Pope. Marxists and Christians have a common mission. Vatican City. Pope Francis wants the courage to step outside the box and an opening in dialogue for new paths. Christians are, as well as socialists, Marxists, and communists. No, Christians as well as socialists, Marxists, and communists have a common mission, said the pontiff, citing practical examples. Pope Francis encouraged the Marxist-Christian dialogue to work together for the disadvantaged and against corruption and abuse of power. Christians, as well as socialists, Marxists, and communists, should build a better fraternal future for a world divided by wars and polarization, said Francis at a reception in the Vatican on Wednesday.
It was a nice church they had there. It's a shame it's dead now.
I love how, a lot of the wars have been started by Marxist communist countries. That socialism may not be a good thing.
Well, how do you find common ground by embracing a political ideology? If you embrace a political ideology, you necessarily have to unembrace, I guess, for lack of a better word at the moment, another. So how is that creating common ground? How is that bringing people together when you're embracing tyranny?
Well, they're not actually trying to bring people together. That's just
I know that.
The marketing pitch.
I'm just saying that even in the marketing pitch, the lie is blatant and apparent.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I'm really dying to see what he says, though, because straight up from Jesus' mouth, what render unto Caesar that which is Caesar's. What the government does is their business and has nothing to do with me.
See, I was hoping he said, "Thou shalt not suffer a communist to live."
He said it was important to overcome rigid, divisive approaches, conduct disputes with an open heart, and listen to one another without excluding anyone on political, social, or religious grounds.
Except the non-communists. It's fine to exclude those.
Yes.
Do not allow finance and the market to dictate law, the Pope urged his guests. They should not stop dreaming of a better world in which ideals such as freedom, equality, dignity, and fraternity are upheld. These ideals... Let me finish this paragraph. These ideals are a mirror of God's dream for humanity. Have at it.
Go, James.
I was just going to say, did he cite Journey in that?
Yeah, don't stop. Don't stop believing is the song of it.
Don't stop believing that you will get commies.
Yeah, but anywho, my whole problem with this is you're already preaching to the choir, so to speak. But comparing Christians to Marxists to socialists, he's off base there. But at the same time, it sounds like he's trying to call for a second crusade. Was that me?
Well,
actually, this is more anti-crusade.
No, I was trying to catch you when you're like...
It wouldn't be the second crusade. It'd be like, what, the Yeah.
I was gonna say with what I was trying to get to was like I was trying to catch James right when he was about to be like, and what he should do is
Stop. That too.
Whoa.
What the
James,
hell?
I don't know what your
That came in rough.
I don't know what just happened, but that needs to not happen again.
But aside from that, seriously, this from everything I've learned that this Pope is not really a religious Pope, if you will.
Well, I'm
Is that
sitting here going, they said that he cited, he made citations. So far, I haven't seen any.
he from everything I have researched about this, he is not a he is a more lax Pope, if you
Of
will.
course, if he doesn't uphold the rules when he rapes a child, then no one else has to either.
True.
well, if I remember correctly, the one thing I've actually liked that this Pope did was in Vatican City, he did raise the age of consent.
Oh, good.
Because back in the day,
It was
I wanna
12,
say
I
it was-
believe.
But
Yeah,
he raised it
12
to
or
7?
no, he raised it to 18.
No, I don't. No, I want to be clear. I don't have any evidence that that this Pope is a child fucker.
I just assume
But-
they all are.
Yeah, at this point, I think it's safer to assume they all are. But let's not pretend at the same time that the Catholic Church and the Vatican can hold a candle to the American public school system.
Well, that's very true.
And that's
But that would be
sad.
getting off topic.
Yeah. But, you know, never mind. I lost my thought.
Yeah. Well,
Continue, Angela.
Excellent. The Pope wished for the courage to step outside the box, as well as an openness in dialogue for new paths. Full attention must be paid to the weak, the poor, the unemployed, the homeless, migrants, the exploited, and all those who are marginalized by a throwaway culture. Dealing with them is the measure of a civilization. The great dictatorships, such as National Socialism, had discarded and even killed precisely these groups, Francis recalled.
Wait a minute. National socialism. Isn't that,
Nazis tier.
Yeah, the
Nazis.
Nazi Germans.
well, no. Weren't they just, a version of Marxists and commies? I mean,
Well,
Here's
honestly,
speaking specifically of Nazis tier.
well, I know.
here's the funny part, though. As a species, we've become too befuddled to be. Oh God, I can't word. Language non can't won't. No,
Mittwoch Swanee Fondle Flu.
classy my ass. No, see no. We've as a culture we become too enamored of our vocabulary. We have all of these people in the political punditry who go on and on about, the bourgeoisie, the fucking proletariat, the socialism, the communism, the anarcho-capitalism, all this fucking horseshit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in the process, it's almost like they've been brainwashed into forgetting to measure things in terms of liberty and tyranny. And that bothers me.
Well, the catch is that people stopped doing that a while back. I started being
they
an
really
alien.
did.
I started being an alien probably by the time I was 5. Okay.
I mean, it also falls in that whole thing. Majority of these people that are going through and talking about how the communism's needed and whatnot don't have jobs.
Yes. They never had this struggle.
Or if they do, they have a job that's mostly irrelevant that is not as big as some people may make it.
All right, so this is how I feel.
These people aren't working 40 hours a week.
It's hard to be a social. It's hard to be a socialist when you got to work. It's hard to be Marxist when you got to you got to worry about eating. And honestly, socialism and stuff like that sounds good on paper.
No, it doesn't.
I mean, if we
Let's be
on
fair,
paper,
Terry. It
it
doesn't
does.
sound good to us on paper because we have life experience.
Yeah, but like look, if we all share, less work to be done, right? It's on paper, it fucking sounds amazing, but in actuality, in practice, there always has to be somebody on top guiding. A strong personality will start to emerge, and they will take over, and it will devolve into a goddamn tyrannical system. It always happens. Like honestly, I'm pretty sure in the beginning, Lenin thought he was doing a good job, and then Stalin
Well,
came.
I mean,
Well, he was,
even
and then he let Paul McCartney get in there.
Hmm?
He was
Shut
doing a good job,
up.
but they let Paul McCartney get in there and have a say.
James,
No,
way to
not-
derail the conversation.
I'm not talking about
Um,
John Lennon.
Well, the
But
funny part
In
is,
theory,
oh, go on.
you can have a successful, like, socialist regime under the first generation of that regime, because you're going to pick someone. Whoever ends up in charge is going to be someone who actually believes in the system that they're trying to put in and work in accordance with that system. As soon as that person is gone, it all is going to go to hell, because the next person is going to be, well, it was
I
a
don't
great
think it's
idea, but I could get more.
I don't
If-
think it's that, Angela. I believe it's proximity. In a small, close-knit group, socialism is fucking perfect. Because my survival depends on your survival, and we're working together. But
That
if we
isn't
expand
socialism, that's community.
But if we expand it, keep going and until we encompass a state, the distance breeds. Well, I don't need you to survive, so why do I fucking care what you're doing? And eventually, the more you grow out, the more it becomes less about I need you to help me and survive. Yeah, I'm just going to take your shit.
See, I
Again,
think most
that is-
most
go ahead.
people, like, the problem with communism / socialism is everyone wants to be on the receiving end of the distribution. They don't
No
think
one
about
wants to be the
the
giving
poor
end.
guy who's got to, like, work, an 80-hour week and then have 3/4 of his money redistributed to people that sat on their ass and did nothing. I mean, what's his incentive to keep doing that? He's going to say, well, fuck it, I'll just quit my job and collect the free money too, and then no one's doing anything, and then
Oh,
the society falls
that's
apart.
that's all well and good, but the big piece that people always tend to overlook in these discussions is that these systems require force to operate.
Mhm.
Now, if
Mhm.
show me a socialist system where people are free to not participate. Show me a communist system where people. Well, okay, let me break it down even further. Show me any tyrannical system that leaves people free not to cooperate, except in the case where they get shot for not cooperating. That's a different
Yes.
thing.
Oh, well, shit, I was going to say Cambodia.
Yeah,
Ah,
Yeah,
mean,
but
the
they get
closest-
shot for not cooperating.
The
yeah.
closest you're ever going to get to a more communist society type thing, to where it's like people actually working for the good of themselves and for others, is typically like small prepper style communities, because
Yep.
they're all working towards a common goal and
Yep.
they rely on each other. But it's that whole thing as well that everyone is still expected to work, and everyone is still expected to work their fair share, but work off their strengths and weaknesses, and even try to learn other things, because the more valuable you are, the more others are going to be going to you for specific things, and just you're more dependable.
Okay, here
It's reliable, but it's also meritocratic.
let's
Exactly.
run a little hypothetical here. Okay,
Okay.
there's what 1, 2, 3, 6 of us on this stream. Let's assume, for the sake of argument, that we all have in excess of $100 at the end of each month, each of us. Now we decide to pool our resources into an account that will be used to generate interest that we can all collect on. And by pooling our resources, we it sounds like communism, right?
Yeah.
The thing is,
Okay.
we're not forced to participate.
No.
We can take our share out anytime. However,
Alright.
now if each of us has an excess of $100 each month, we should probably only throw $10 into that account each month. That'll leave each of us that $90 to go do with as we will.
Mm-hmm.
You know, create our own little nest eggs, and boom, that's what, $60 a month over a year is how much? $720.
Mm-hmm.
And as that grows over the years, it will continue to get more and more interest. Now, that right there is not communism, because we are free to participate or not as we see fit. And sure, the more people you get chipping in that $10 a month, the more faster that money will grow. But also, the wider it has to be dispersed at the end of the end of the deal.
Yeah, more people digging into the pot.
Right.
That's actually like there's a lot of like investment companies that operate basically that way.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What you're describing.
What you're really betting on is someone's going to die. Basically someone won't survive to collect. So that part of it gets dispersed against the other members.
Oh, actually, I can go with that one. Has anyone here seen the movie Nobody
Not that I can remember.
with Bob Odenkirk?
Yes.
One of the things they have in there, they call us the Obshek, and I'm probably butchering the pronunciation and whatnot if I can remember, because it's been a little bit since I've seen it. But basically, it's a Russian nest egg that a bunch of Russian mobsters have put money into. And at one point of it, they're like, well, we don't think that this operation is safe enough as whatnot. So the guy that's supposed to protect it, he kills a person. Like, he had an X amount percentage share in this. He's like, in this. And the guy's like, oh, fuck. And he's like, well, his loss is our gain.
Right. But this is all done in a non-violent, non-coercive manner. And people do this stuff all the time. There's a thing called a tontine.
Yeah.
Where,
But just to clarify what I was saying, the one I was describing, it's not that you're waiting for someone to die. It's like 100 people give the company their money so that they can afford, then they'll invest that, and then the profits of the investment will be split between
Basically, shareholders.
Yeah.
Well, I'll own a mini corporation.
But it's basically the same idea. Is like you're giving the company X amount of money, and if you've got 0.001% of the total balance that's being invested, you get that same percentage of the returns. Every 3 months or whatever.
Yeah, and it's the difference between a cooperative and a coercive.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you can withdraw your money at any time in these things.
But the damn commies and socialists, they insist upon forcing everyone into it for their own good. Naturally.
Yes, it's for the greater good.
And it's never for the greater
Good.
No tyranny is ever for the greater good. In fact,
Of course not.
I have an expression that I coined. Liberty is the free exercise of self-interest in pursuit of the greater good. Liberty cannot exist without self-interest, and self-interest is not necessarily a big, bad, evil thing.
No.
Okay.
If you leave someone alone to pursue their self-interest, it's going to be for the greater good ultimately.
But I mean, the economy is built on self-interest. It's like I value this video game more than I value $60, and the company that's selling it values the $60 more than it values the video game. So we
Yes.
make a mutually beneficial exchange.
Exactly.
Capitalism.
Yeah.
Well, and that as well. Like the only time you really have it to be slightly opposite in that is typically for kids because they can make the wrong choice, but they need to get the experience. But some things they can't go after. And who's got people yelling in the background?
I think that's Angela.
That might be me. I'm sorry. Let me mute.
It's
Break
no
out the
real-
mouse traps.
Just turn the gas on full, and the sound.
I can't even find.
Can't even find the gas knob.
Gosh damn it, Angela.
No, it's that's what people don't understand. They someone says, "Oh, self-interest," and they act like it's an evil thing. It's not. Self-interest is often the best thing you can ever hope for.
Oh yeah, that's like looking into businesses as well, to where people will try to think, businesses that'll try to think it's like, well, I pay employees better than others, but it's like the work environment they're in is absolutely god awful and overly demanding and everything. Why are people quitting when we're offering them good money? Well, there's another place that's paying $5 less an hour, but the management's not shit. And they're not getting fucking strained trying to work them in the goddamn bone.
Right. And they're not trying to make you purchase your own cleaning supplies for the company's property.
Yeah.
Why am I suddenly staring at a horse?
What a shame the poor rich guy's a
It's a
whore.
horse.
Oh.
I chimed in. Haven't you ever heard of?
There we go.
Haven't you people
I'm
ever?
Sorry about the
Angela,
noise. I was gonna say there's no actual biblical evidence given. This is all political crap that all says we should just all get along. And since we've already been talking about this for like half an hour,
20
we
minutes.
know what it says already.
Yeah.
If you want, I can continue, but
Yeah, continue the
Leave it
continue.
at,
It's a little chaotic.
retarded.
I do want to add one more thing to it.
Mhm.
If the
Go
Pope
ahead.
wants to take care of these people, how about letting out some of that Nazi gold for something other than paying off the parents of a child who got raped by a priest?
Hmm.
How about, okay, if we're also going to go down that road as well, how about also teach people about having safe sex and that abstinence is not the only way.
Yes.
Instead
Yeah,
of
you
looking
can
instead
castrate
of
yourself.
how
That works
abortion is
too.
wrong, you can
Yeah.
pass out condoms in Africa so it stop fucking spreading AIDS there further.
well,
Yep.
actually, the catch there is that you have to actually teach them how to use them.
Yeah.
There
Angela,
is,
can you finish this? It's only like 3 paragraphs left. It's a short one.
yeah, there are 3 paragraphs left. I'm going to read through them completely.
Run.
James, you need to mute yourself. In order to achieve solidarity and justice, systems of inequality must be purified in their intentions. Also, through radical changes of perspective in the distribution of challenges and resources between people and peoples. Pope Francis demanded, his creativity must be put at the service of a more humane society. The dialogue platform is dedicated to dialogue between Christians and socialists or Marxists, together with institutions and members work together with education and educational institutions. The members work on social ethics and ecology, combining Marxist ideas and Catholic social teaching. The initial impetus for this was provided by a meeting between Pope Francis and the future Greek Prime Minister Alexis Tsipras in
Tsipras.
in 2014. During the audience, the platform presented its activities of the past 10 years to the Pope, some of which were also supported by the Vatican's cultural and educational authorities. It was a beautiful program, praised Francis. Among the 15 participants were Luisa Cello from the Focolare movement, and in Vienna and Berlin-based Cornelia Heidelbrandt, who is also co-president of the Transform Europe network.
Again, this is all. What's this guy's an ass.
The Pope agreed.
Yeah.
This guy's a politician.
Yes.
Yeah, he's. Oh God, I don't know if this will work. I'm going to try it. I may have to post it in the in Rotncorpse's Discord. I think I will. That way I can be sure someone can grab it. Upload file. Give me a second because I'm an old man and I forgot how to do all the internets.
That's all right. I got a meme that's up for you. Is where thing goes like, Mom, who's your favorite? The one asking is safety. And then there's freedom next to it. It's like, sweetie, I love both of you equally.
I love this.
Then safety walks away. It's you. And by a lot. Hug
And I posted one of my memes in Rotncorpse's Discord.
I'll see about grabbing it.
I'm grabbing it now.
Because it's somewhat apropos to this, I think. It should tell you everything you need to know about this Pope and many other people.
All this tells me is that we are actually pretty close to end times. Yay!
It kind of looks like it, doesn't it?
Yeah, we had a good run.
Yeah. I can't wait for the roaches to take over.
Honestly, I halfway blame the Trumpers. And the reason I blame them is not because of Donald Trump. It's because they have no plan after Donald Trump.
Right?
That's true.
Well, no, the plan after Donald Trump is more Donald Trump.
We're gonna resurrect them, keep them alive.
That's who's singing?
Me.
Rotten.
Oh, okay.
Roger.
There you go. When you measure politics in terms of liberty and tyranny, you realize that there are no centrists, just they who are willing to compromise with tyrants. That's why it's so important for us to drop all of this linguistic voodoo, all this goddamn mumbo jumbo about the proletariat and all that, and just really focus on does this proposal add more liberty or more tyranny to the equation? And if it adds more tyranny, kiss it goodbye. It's time that we as a society start erring on the side of liberty.
The problem with that meme is actually that what is considered taking the side of opposition to tyranny has become considered being centrist.
Say that again.
I am not.
So far
Okay,
right.
let's put it this way if I can come up with an example. I am not centrist. I am a slightly left-leaning libertarian.
Okay.
All right.
In that, much like Monkey, I believe in like small aspects of assistance for people who need just a hand up, not
A hand up, not a handout.
exactly.
Yeah, basically, you're looking to have people. It's like you're looking at social welfare programs that are meant to be used as a temporary crutch.
Exactly.
And not a
believe in
permanent occupation.
Yeah.
And because of that, I can't say I'm 100% libertarian.
Well, those programs, in the way they exist now, they are designed to
Be
keep you
constant.
down.
Yeah.
They're
Yes.
designed to keep you down because if
permanent and make you reliant on the government.
let's use easy numbers again. If you need $1,000 a month to do your thing, to live your life, and you lose the job, so the government kicks in, right?
Mhm.
The government kicks in that $1,000 a month to get your bills paid, get you fed, keep your power on, all that good stuff. Then you get a job that pays $500 a month. Does the government cut you down by $500? No, they cut you down by $800 for some reason. So it's actually more economically viable for you to collect
Stay unemployed.
Yeah, exactly. That is a problem.
Yes,
that is a
it
problem no one seems to want to address. Now, if the government's kicking you, if the government, if there is going to be a social program, should not let you slip below a standard of living. And I'm not talking about something extravagant. I'm talking about the basics, meaning no internet service. Well, at least a limited internet service.
You're not getting high speed dial-up. You're getting basic.
No, you're getting something that sounds like the half-time broken fax machine in the manager's office. You're getting that kind of internet, but it's enough to communicate effectively as far as texts. So you can write your letters, you can send your resumes, that kind of stuff. But you're not going to be transferring huge video files or playing games.
Okay.
So unless the job requires a video, whatever, that's a different thing.
Well, you can.
But
also
if the government, if they're going to pay you that $1,000 a month to just to live your basic life, and you start getting jobs and moving up, you should be maintained at that level until you can surpass it on your own, and then they cut you off. But they don't function like that.
That goes back to look at how they do things in countries that have like a universal basic income that everyone says we need to go to. They're like, oh, well, let's just say you get a universal basic income of $800 a month. That's going to be the minimum of rent everywhere.
Yep.
Because that is a guaranteed thing.
Yep. That's going to be the minimum of every monthly bill that exists.
Because that's why BAH, basic allowance of housing for the military, is always funny. Because when I went to Cannon in Clovis, New Mexico, this was before I had gotten there. A lot of people that were getting basically forcibly put there because AFSOC had taken over, they were looking into what the BAH was in Florida in that area for Holbrook Field. And they're like, oh, so these people are going to be getting this much money, not realizing that the standard of living in Clovis, New Mexico is exponentially lower. So they were trying to say, oh, this piece of shit 1-bedroom apartment is worth $1,500 a month. And it's just like, dude, people here aren't going to be getting that. They're going to be getting, I think as an NCO before I left, I was getting like $750 maybe for my BAH.
Right. It's because there's always someone who's essentially on the take, if you will. Not to say that they're criminal, but they're.
Well, for that, it's the BAH is based upon your housing allowance. So if you got someplace that was a bit lower than what your housing allowance was, you got to bank it. Now, when I went to Japan, it didn't matter. It's like, unless the rent was more than my cost of living allowance. I'm pretty sure it was that. I'm probably fucking these up a little bit. They took all of it. So if it was more than that, I had to put in. If it was less than that, I didn't get any more. Like, I didn't keep what was left over. They paid the rent, period.
Right. But you know what? How can we as a nation be expected to address these kinds of issues when we have our representatives focusing on stuff like the next story?
Yeah. Well, I still attribute a lot of this shit to Well, I'm going to call it out for COVID and whatnot for that. It seemed like we were pushing towards a thing to where people were finally getting that whole situation of they're going to have to work a bit. Now we're always going to be people that are going to try to game the system. It's just going to happen.
Right.
Shit, people were trying to game the system during COVID. Like payroll.
Hold on. Just a moment.
Okay.
What fucked over us on that was the fact that so many of the governors and everything closed states down to where you couldn't do anything. So many jobs were gone and everything, and they were paying people more to stay home and they were going to that. So it's exactly like Mitch was talking about. It became more lucrative to be living off the government than it was to actually have a job.
I was going to say, it wasn't us gaming the government here. It was the government gaming us.
No, I wasn't saying that. I was talking about shit like payroll protection fraud and shit like that.
Well, like Barbara Streisand getting the COVID loan, whatever they called it.
What the hell?
Getting a $200,000 COVID loan to pay her gardener.
Like, why do you got to pay? Well, you are rather rich, lady.
Yeah.
So why do you need a $200,000 loan to pay your gardener?
Well, to be fair, what's the last Barbara Streisand movie you saw?
Look,
Wait,
I like Barbara Streisand for one simple reason. Her retardation gave us the term the Streisand effect, and I will forever thank her for that.
Last Barbara Streisand movie I saw. I can't think. I can think of the
mirror has two faces. Either that or the First Wives Club. No, that was Bette Midler. Never mind.
Yentl. Godzilla
No,
-1.
The First Wives Club is definitely after Yentl.
But that's my point. What has Barbara Streisand done in the last 10 years?
The last Barbara Streisand thing that I saw was season 2 Christmas special, Halloween special of South Park, the Spooky Fish.
She was in that?
The whole episode was done in Spooky Vision with 4 Barbara Streisand faces, 1 in each corner. So she was in that episode, and I did see it.
Makes sense. Shit. The next article, Angela, you're gonna love this one.
Oh boy, which one?
Congressional butt love.
Are we doing active love or Christian?
Active love. I'll get this out of the way.
Oh, is this the guy?
Series.
Oh, you fuck.
I love you, Angela.
I love you too, Tyr. Fired for his act
right
of
there.
love
Keep this to yourselves. Don't talk like that.
Fired for his act of love.
Can they stop doing this to where they're like, just because? Sorry to interrupt, Angela, but just because the person's gay.
Hold on. Wait a minute. I couldn't hear you for a second.
Yeah, someone's out there revving the Mach 5.
That was not me.
That was Tyribot.
My window.
But just because someone's gay and they get fired for doing shit that straight people would, all of a sudden, they're doing this because an act of love.
This was not an act of love. This guy wanted to get boned.
Yeah, this was a carnal act, and they thought it'd be fun to do it in the House of Congress, so they guess that one could simulate that they were the American people, or the public.
I want to know what possessed them. I want to know what possessed them.
I know what possessed them.
What?
It's all part of the thrill. It's like it's like people who go on a roller coaster. You got people who get on the brand new psychotic crazy ass roller coaster because it's fun.
I'm going to be more cynical than that.
I
think they did it because they knew they could turn it into a political spectacle and we're being oppressed for being gay. I think they knew exactly what would happen and they intended to capitalize on it.
That's because they're fucking
too.
It's because they're voyeurists, plain and simple.
See, I don't even think it's that. I think
No,
they
this
knew
guy
they could
no.
use it as political
The voyeurism of it is the fact that they could get caught, and now
That's
they
the
could
thrill
also
part.
use that because of the way things have gone in our current society.
All
That
right.
if they got caught, oh, it's hate because they're gay.
This isn't about they could get caught. He knew they would get caught.
Yeah, what I'm
He
saying is they
had been
wanted to get caught.
posting inappropriate pictures of himself throughout the entire building
Yes.
for months. And
See,
he
what-
figured that this was going to be the thing that tipped him over the line and got him his million views.
Yeah.
He wanted 5 minutes of fame for getting it in the
Yeah,
ass.
I'm saying it wasn't he might get caught. He wanted to get caught specifically so that he could make a big deal out of it like he has.
Well, he shared
Well,
it.
because he
shared
knew
it
he could say it's because I'm gay.
Exactly.
But it gets even worse when you find out that there were people telling him, "Hey, dude, calm that shit down with these fucking posts."
Yeah, but that's homophobic.
Now
How
that we
dare you.
had to get into this before we've even given our audience
Because
any
everyone
of
already
the
knows.
articles.
Everyone already knows the story. The article is not
Yeah, but
necessary.
we don't necessarily know what bullshit they've
Well, yeah,
said.
let's go through the
We don't
article
know
and see
how-
what kind of bullshit they're trying to smear on us.
Yeah, I was going to say we don't know what kind of idiocy they've tried to lay it out as.
Okay.
Fired for his act of love in the Senate, Aiden Mays Charovsky
Just call him Aiden.
act
Yeah.
was symbolic and brave. Fuck you. Because in a world full of hate, displays of love are rebellious. We shouldn't bend.
No pun intended.
We shouldn't bend to
Over.
a party that hates. We must do the opposite.
See, if he didn't get caught, they couldn't spin it like this.
So it's
Sure.
official. Senator Ben Cardin's official has told Politico that Aiden, fuck his last
Just call him
name,
Steve.
Aiden.
is
That's
no
Steve.
longer employed by the United States Senate. Goaded by demagogic
Be nice, your I keep
Republicans.
calling them cigarettes.
Goaded by demagogic Republicans, the Capitol Police has now also opened an investigation. We need to learn that
English.
police are more than one person.
But I got. They wait a minute. Hold on. They say demagogic Republicans, but this was a crime. Indecent exposure.
Wait. We have to ask ourselves if indecent exposure can occur when no one objects to what they see. Because it's not like he did it in a room full of people. They were in there alone, weren't they?
Yes.
So is that indecent exposure?
It is when you turn around and
Take it up the
throw a
ass.
video of you being banged in the ass.
No, hang on.
In the
With the video,
Senate.
with the video, people have a choice whether or not they watch online.
That's true.
So, this is going to get sticky, and I don't mean that the way it sounded.
Yeah.
It's going to get sticky in the legalities of a lot of different things, and ultimately in the concepts of what is and is not a crime.
Okay,
Okay. I agree with you, and I don't necessarily think there should be a legal investigation.
Criminal
He
investigation.
definitely should have been fired for conduct unbecoming while
Absolutely.
in service of the
Yes.
government.
Yeah. I mean, I think he should be fired. I don't think there should be legal. I mean, it might technically be against the law. If it is, fine, whatever. But
At
I don't
least
think there should be.
trespassing.
And that
Is that-
would be true if somebody had their secretary under their desk
No,
in their
I'm
office in Congress.
well, no.
The secretary
what I'm-
needed to be fired.
No, what I'm saying is it should be at least a charge of trespassing. You're in there without it's not official business.
Hang on.
That's not trespassing. He works in the building.
No. All right, so at least okay. Let me from my understanding, let me use my job as an example. If I'm not on official business at the airport, I can't be behind security.
That's a policy, yes.
That's a yeah.
That's one of the rules for working there, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Policy, not a law.
Right. Well, yeah, there's the policy versus law argument, but the policy can lead to a breach of the law. Rationally, if you go there and they've already told you can't, then they can trespass you. But you have to be trespassed before you can be charged with trespassing. They can't just say trespass and boom, you're up on a criminal charge. It doesn't work that way. You have to be told to leave and to leave the property and then come back for it to be a trespass, a criminal charge. Now, in the case of the Senate chamber, where I think it was the Senate chamber, I don't remember exactly where.
It was one of the meeting rooms, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
It's one of the voting.
We have to. Is there a sign that says no trespassing, except when official business is occurring? Is there any sign that says anything like that? Because if not, they weren't trespassing.
Okay, I can see that point of view.
Because trespass, I can't say trespass. Trespass requires a prior communication of some sort, be it a sign, a warning from someone authorized to speak on behalf of the facility, et cetera, et cetera. That's why if it's in an employment policy,
like it's in your contract.
Right. If it's in an employment contract or policy, then the prior communication has already taken place.
Well, again, he was an employee. I'm pretty sure there has to be something like that, because if not, then he could just come up there on the weekend. Maybe
there is, but if there is, wouldn't they make noise about that? Wouldn't somebody make noise about that as far as the policy?
I have no doubt that if this guy had been given research to do, he would have been in full, within his full rights to use that room if he needed to be in a
It's one of those things that at the time frame of when it was committed, if they had been caught and it had been before they ever got undressed, they could have easily been justification if they were in there because of actual official duty.
Right.
Instead, they went beyond that. And I do believe as well for the trespassing thing, Mitch, it's once you've been told you have to leave, you don't even have to come back necessarily. If you refuse to leave, it's still trespassing.
If you refuse to leave after a certain amount of time, and there is a reasonable amount of time.
Yeah.
Gathering your things and leaving, that's a reasonable thing.
Yeah.
But if you're told to leave and they don't let you leave, that's not a trespassing charge. That's a kidnapping charge. Yeah. And it goes in the other direction. But my point is there has to be a reasonable communication and a reasonable opportunity given to vacate.
Okay.
Ready for a word take on this?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Buckle up.
I've listened to everyone else's arguments, and first off, if you're a voyeur, you're into the watching it, not performing.
Yeah, if you're into the performance, you're an exhibitionist.
Exactly. And secondly, I don't blame the guy. He had motive, he had opportunity, and he had accessibility. Under those circumstances, you're a young lover. I don't care, straight or gay. If you have an opportunity to do something like that and you don't take it, you will fucking regret it until the day you die.
I could have fucked in the Senate chamber. I could have, but I didn't. I could have fucked on Nancy Pelosi's desk.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you understand what I'm saying.
I do.
Mm-hmm. And that makes sense, right?
What we have here is a case of poor judgment. And on that basis, it makes sense to fire the kid, because if that poor judgment comes into play when he's dealing with something of a truly important nature, well, now we have a foundation on which we can judge him not suitable to deal with the important stuff. Get out. You're
Right.
fired. But
Right,
criminal
yeah.
charges, I think, is going too far.
Trespassing after the fact is stupid. I've always said that.
This is not trespassing. There is no reason for a criminal investigation. This is a kid that behaved inappropriately while he was on the clock, and yes, he deserved to be fired. Period.
Again,
Well, I'm going to interject real quick. There is a potential thing for criminal investigation, and it's not necessarily of the person. They threw this into a gay Facebook group that was kind of into the shit anyways, because apparently there had been several different videos of that. So if they want to go into that to try to see if they can curtail it from happening, that's different. But against this kid himself, no. Making sense or no?
Well, what would the criminal charge be in that case?
Basically, the indecent acts in public.
looting the city is behavior.
Well, what makes it lewd and lascivious?
I mean,
See,
taking it up the ass
again-
is kind of lewd.
Yeah, but that by itself, if the participants are, if they all, I'm going to try that again. If everyone is a willing participant in the act, there is no crime.
Yeah, I don't think he should go to jail. I just think it's right that they fired him because anyone should be fired for having sex at work.
Yeah, when I look at a naked titty on the internet, when I choose to do so, I don't get to be offended by it because it's a choice I made.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's an action I initiated. The fact that someone else provided that naked booby is kind of
Makes it very
immaterial.
simple.
I went and sought it
Well,
out.
I'm offended.
The other thing
I'm
on that
offended by
is
naked
because of
boobies.
the plausible exhibitionism and everything could be looked into, which should be unlikely. Areas that are considered classified areas that they were not supposed to have access to, or pictures are not supposed to be taken of.
Do you
Or
want to
it could
live
be-
in a country where laws are enforced on the basis of what if?
No, but I was about to say.
Unfortunately, we do, because they do this
I know
shit
we
all
do.
the fucking time.
I know we
Bullshit.
do. And
Well,
we all
I'll-
think it's bullshit.
Wait a minute. I was about to say it also could be a little bit more another aspect where it could be a vulnerability in the Capitol security system.
Could be. That's as bad
You
as
know-
what if.
But that is for the Capitol to make a note of and act upon moving forward.
And
It has
that's-
nothing to do with this guy's legal responsibilities.
Agreed, but I still think Capitol Police should also still investigate if there is a potential vulnerability.
But that's not a criminal investigation.
I mean, it still says an open investigation. We don't know if it's criminal. We don't
If
know.
the police are involved, it's a criminal investigation.
It's still-
Capitol Police has now opened an investigation. Not Capitol Security is investigating potential
Yeah, it'd be one thing
safety
if it was
issues.
if it was the security force for the building in question, that would make sense. But
If there-
dragging the Capitol Police in
Hold on.
doesn't make sense.
I always assumed that the Capitol Police and the Capitol Security Force are literally one and the same. Now I
They
could
may
be
be.
wrong.
They may be, but they shouldn't be because police law enforcement is a different thing.
Wait a minute. Are Capitol Police and Capitol Security the same entities?
I want to address Will at Forge here. He says, well, I could see looking in the direction of criminal charge if, one, he is paid by taxpayers, and two, he did it on the clock. That's theft. But if it was on his own time, see, that's the thing. I don't get charged for theft if I'm caught screwing the secretary.
I was going to say, Will, that brings you to...
That
Are
brings
you
us
going
to
to say
another.
the senator whose secretary is hiding under his desk
Well, yeah. See, that
is a criminal? because, or at least the secretary is a criminal, because both of those people are doing the exact same thing.
Right. I mean, that's if we're going to charge that, if we're going to make a criminal charge like that on that basis, when it's in the Senate or the House of Representatives, and not when it's in Mr. Anderson's office at the marketing firm, then we're looking at another version of a two-tier justice system. I maintain that it's a terminable offense. The guy should be fired. Yes, absolutely. But he shouldn't be criminally charged.
I do not think he should be criminally charged.
Now, Doc is paid for the 5 minutes. Sure, go on.
What I'm going to say, though, Mitch, in the difference between the senator and what's his face in marketing, the taxpayers are not paying the marketing guy's salary
until he works on a political campaign.
All
right. Okay.
I would say personally, if anything other than being fired, he should just have to be fined for the poor bastard who had to clean up after them and anything they may have damaged.
See, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's civil, not criminal.
Yes. Wait a minute. Everybody, hold on. The United States Capitol Police are has the primary responsibility of protecting life and property, preventing and detecting and investigating criminal acts, enforcing traffic regulations throughout the complex of the congressional buildings, parks, and thoroughfares. So I'm assuming they are the security force for these buildings. So
yeah, because anything outside of the Capitol is DC Metro.
So they would be in charge of investigating a vulnerability.
But what proof do they have that there is a vulnerability? Not proof, but evidence.
They aren't saying that they're investigating an invulnerability. They're saying they're investigating the incident.
Yes, and it could lead to an invulnerability. Like again, for my job, I'm using my job as the example because it's a government job and whatnot. There are times where a security force will investigate a vulnerability. If something happened at my job. If something happened, the police will do an investigation to ensure that there is no vulnerability in the security. It will be a coordinated effort between like 3 different agencies and us, and we're all trying to figure out how did this happen and how can we prevent it from happening again. It is an investigation. All intents and purposes. It is not a criminal investigation. There's no one.
That is a state. Yes, that's what.
I love you.
Let's just move on.
Let her rip, Angela.
Okay, we're back to the article.
Yes, ma'am.
Now I was going to say, let's move on to the next article. Fuck this shit.
Yeah, let's fuck this one. This one is terrible. Let's go to Christian story. Huh?
Well, no, I kind of want to see if it turns. We got as far as they've opened an investigation. I want to know what it consists of.
All right, let's continue.
They're not giving us that information. Unless you've been living under a rock.
James is backstage because he's saying hi in the private chat.
I'm sorry. Again, James, my bad.
Unless you've been living under a rock, you've already seen the viral video making its rounds. Right. Republicans just can't stop watching the 8-second clip featuring 2 men embracing each other in love. You did not watch that video, you assholes. While you can briefly see an empty room in the background. It turns out one of the lovemaking men was Aiden, fucked up last name, and the room was recognized by some as the Senate hearing room. We get it. It's the most important room in America. It was in this very room that Sonia Sotomayor herself had her confirmation hearing, and won despite an entire oligarchy reorienting itself to wipe her out. This is also where James Comey exposed the Russian interference in the fucks in the 2016 elections to the chagrin of the Treason Party, you assholes. But in a world built on hate, displays of love are inherently rebellious. Every second that Aiden and his partner made love in the halls of power was pregnant and poignant. Symbolic meaning. Pregnant with poignant symbolic meaning.
I love the
So,
word that, hold on really quick. I love the fact that they use the words pregnant and when they talk about two gay guys.
yeah. And in a time when the LGBT community is under existential threat by white fragility, can we please stop before I stab someone in the eye?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, no.
Now we see it.
No,
Okay.
I
Now we
have
see
to
it.
go.
This is spin.
And
This
in
is-
a time, I gotta read this, Mitch.
Okay.
When the LGBTQ community is under existential threat by white fragility, feeling threatened, displays of LGBTQ culture are necessarily brave. In some ways, Aiden's act mirrored that of Anne Frank, who dared to express her honest thoughts and feelings as she hid from rabid insurrectionist-style death squads.
This was
Who-
written by a poorly trained AI.
Do I have to stab in the eye?
It doesn't say. It says Afro staff. You don't get to stab anyone.
Yeah,
I'm
This is
sorry.
AI.
I can see it now. Hey, ChatGPT, now make an article about the gay guy in the Senate, but use all the catchphrases and buzzwords for me.
Who do I get to stab in the AI?
Dude, I get to stab in the AI. God damn it, Angela.
Well, I'll put it to you like this. He wasn't
article was-
passing.
This article has been brought to you by Retards for Retards.
Yes.
Motherfucker!
Willett Forge writes, no, Mitch, this was written by authentic stupidity. Grade A, high protein, or no, grade A, high grade. What was it? High grade, grade A. What's the other one?
High quality.
Fuck, I don't know.
Prime.
Grass-fed,
Yeah.
homegrown, grade A stupidity.
Fully organic idiocy.
Very authentic.
Jesus.
Here.
Okay,
I love you.
that guy wasn't fired because of a display of love. He's fired for poor judgment.
He
They're
was
one
fired for filming porn in Congress.
poor judgment.
He was fired
Hey,
for
you-
getting. No, he was fired for making a laughing stock of like his the senator Ben Cardin. That's why he was fired.
Because it's a reflection on his employer too.
Yes, if he'd have done this and no one would have seen it, again, like Mitch said, if how is it indecent exposure if everyone was cool with it? If he'd have never got caught, we'd have known nothing of it. Or if he never filmed it, we'd have known nothing. It wasn't like
I
it
was
was
going to
just
say, how
cameras.
is this indecent exposure if it was never exposed?
Yes, so he'd have been fine, but he exposed it and he made his senator look like a fucking laughing stock. Of course, he was getting fired. Of course, it was gonna
After
happen.
he had been promoted and told that he needed
Not to
to
do this
chill
shit.
the fuck out with his social media.
Yes, because now you're represented. Okay, I can't post. I can post small things about my job. If I were to have a more public social, like if I were to have my face and whatnot, my actual real name, given name, I could post small stuff, but I can't post outrageous shit.
Right.
Like that's why I don't have a Facebook anymore. Like I have it, but I don't use it. It's best to avoid all that shit. They can't come at me with, "Oh, you can't post this because of this." I don't use it, so it's not me. And with my Twitter, I don't use my given name, and I don't really associate it with my job. So I can post whatever the fuck I want. But I get that you're representing your senator. Now, if he had a secret one, you know, oh, look at this film, this video I found. You know, where could it have been filmed at? You know, X Dragon 25.
Yeah.
You know, but it's not connected with him. Like, it's not connected with him. It'd have been washed under the rug. It wouldn't have seen the light of day.
Exactly.
But hey,
this was intentionally put into the public sphere, and it's now intentionally being used as a political bludgeon, and not very good, by the way, or I should say, not very well.
Not very well.
yes. All right, Angela, I'm sorry for making you read this one. We can stop.
Yeah, I just had to point out that the motherfucker that wrote this shit had the nerve to compare this guy to Anne Frank.
Yeah, that's
some fucking audacity.
Attempting to tie it to insurrection, attempting to tie it to white people for some reason. It's a try hard. And
it's an AI.
Bad one. It's a badly done one as well. Yeah, it's an AI.
It's ChatGPT's other cousin, the one they don't talk about.
Will it forge? Yeah, cameras are allowed in that room. That's how we get the footage from the Senate hearings.
Yeah,
Sean. But Will it Forge wrote something that reminded me of something I saw on Twitter about the COVID. Yeah, that's the one. About the COVID vaccine apparently replacing sperm with mRNA or something like that.
What?
Was what the article stated. And I had to post on that article. How did they find out? Did Kamala Harris tell them about the difference in taste? I'm sorry, I am not backing down from calling out a blowjob for promotion whore. I'm not backing down from that.
To quote Jarko Green, she went vertical so her career could go horizontal.
Yes. No.
She went horizontal
so her career could
go
vertical.
She went horizontal so her career could go vertical. Sorry, my bad. I misquoted Jarko Green.
But the truth is, blowjobs can occur either horizontally or vertically. So you weren't as far off as you might think.
But she slapped her way to the top, and yeah.
And when she got there, she still sucks. Anyway,
Oh, but don't test.
She went down so her career could go up.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow, that just sounded weird.
I want to read this one myself. This one I want to read myself. So,
oh boy,
Christian Stewart, very intelligent, mental level scientist, a paragon of intellectual virtue, and one hell of an actress. She acted in the remake of Charlie's Angels, phenomenal movie. I suggest everyone
her
see
best
it.
movie was Zathura. She was frozen for half of it.
Out.
Didn't she have a starring role in that biopic, A History of Wood?
Yep, pretty much.
No. She was Plank in the live action remake of fucking Eddie. Yeah, she was Plank.
Wow.
Yeah, the discipline is called acting, not planking, you block of wood.
Okay. All right. Christian Stewart warns the world is dangerously close to nuclear catastrophe.
I thought it was Kirsten.
No, it's Kristen Stewart.
Well,
Kirsten is done.
The way that Kirsten, he keeps saying Christian.
No, it's Kristen.
Oh,
well, it doesn't sound like Tears saying Kristen.
Look, T
My
can't speak
bad.
English. Haven't you learnt that by now?
Yeah, he probably got to ask us a question.
Oh, here we
Exactly.
go.
Don't make me ask you. I will ask you hard.
Oh boy.
All right. The Hollywood actress supports Paul J's Daniel Ellsberg's documentary "How to Stop a Nuclear War," based on the book "Doomsday Machine" by the Vietnam-era whistleblower who released the Pentagon Papers.
But did they just do a legacy media version of "I'm Your Brother's Sister's Cousin's Former Roommate"?
Yes.
Yes.
Jesus Christ!
Seems like it.
Go on.
What does
Kristen
that make us? Absolutely nothing.
Kristen Stewart is sounding the alarm over the threat of global nuclear war by getting behind Paul J's featured doc about Pentagon paper leaker Daniel Ellsberg.
Wait.
How to stop?
Wait, hold on. So we have a headline. We have, I don't know, what's the line below the headline?
The subhead line, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. So in the first sentence, we've basically repeated the subheadline.
Uh-huh.
Dear legacy media, grow the fuck up and learn how to write.
No, they always do that. It's annoying.
I know. Back in the Ridgedale days, Arthur and I would call that out in every article we read where we encountered it.
Yeah, Polydub. I think Polydub, Monkey. There's a lot of people that bitch about that.
Everyone point that out.
On a
honestly, this would
solid
seem like-
note, it's
Good.
because they realized that the headline actually wasn't a complete sentence, so they have to correct their error.
No, that's what editors are for. What I think.
Hold on. I personally think it's something different. I personally think it's they don't even think of a headline, and they just take the first sentence and make it the headline.
Yes.
Or vice versa.
Titles no longer exist. Yes.
I think the other side of the equation is that they're trying to artificially increase the word count.
That's really what
Yes.
it is.
But that's
They get
stupid
paid per
because
word.
it's an electronic document. So they don't have to fill physical space.
But they do get paid per word.
They probably do.
All right. Which is now in production. We've grown so accustomed to the looming threat of nuclear annihilation that it barely registers in our daily lives because it fucking shouldn't. Stewart says in a fundraising video obtained by the Hollywood Reporter for the documentary, which is based on the book Doomsday
We're doing it
Machine.
again. They're
Yes,
doing it again.
They're reiterating what they already said up here.
Oh God, they're starting to learn from the military. They're reiterating.
Department of Redundant.
Hold on. They're reiterating so they can piggyback off the caveat to double back to repeat just to make sure you got that.
Yep.
So it's the Department of Redundancy Department, right?
Now,
That hurt my brain a little bit actually, and I got to remember more of those.
I want to point out to everyone, when we started this episode, I had mentioned that I'm having trouble with re-emphasizing that thing in that essay I'm working on, and I'm trying to not do it every 2 seconds. I wish these people had the ethic that I do when it comes to that, because at least I'm trying not to repeat it every 4 seconds in my article.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, go
But
on.
they got-
Please.
All right. By the Vietnam-era whistleblower. But when some new crisis or close call startles out of our slumber for just a brief moment, we truly grasp the insanity of living on a hair trigger to what could be a real-life Armageddon. Stewart's fiance, Dylan.
I said, oh boy.
Stewart's fiance, Dylan Mayer, is the daughter of Nicholas Mayer, the director of ABC's groundbreaking 1983 TV movie. What the fuck does this guy do anything? TV movie.
Nicholas Meyer also directed Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan.
Oh, well, okay. I guess I give him some credit. And the executive producer of the How to Stop a Nuclear War documentary. Emma Thompson is also on the board to narrate the upcoming featured doc, where Ellsberg wants, God damn it, you just said all this, that the nuclear weapon arsenal of the US and Russia are still very much a threat to global peace. No, it's not. Mutually assured destruction has kept fucking things pretty fucking peaceful.
Yep.
No,
They
Emma
don't get that.
Thompson is the British lady, right?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Okay. The one that used to be married to Kenneth Branagh.
And that an all-out nuclear war remains capable of being launched from missile silos and submarines on a few minutes' notice. Again,
Well, what are they?
mutually-
No shit. It's called mutual destruction.
Yeah, mutually assured destruction. That's
Yes. Thank you for.
it's absolutely necessary at this point. Because yeah, we do have that kind of an arsenal. They have that kind of an arsenal. And you know what? Those other guys do too.
India had that kind of arsenal. China had that kind of arsenal. A lot of if a nuclear holocaust would destroy the entire planet. If the first person to launch would be blamed for it, but everybody would fucking start firing.
Yep. And then once you get rid of all that stuff, that's when the aliens invade because now there's no defense.
But
Yep.
but not even that. It's who's to say that if we get rid of ours, now we don't have that threat and they can nuke us without repercussion.
Well, the only repercussion would be
But
the
they
environmental
wouldn't do
effects.
that. They're the sweet, innocent outsiders.
Right. I mean, not everyone has the hydrogen bombs that we do. Because apparently our modern nuclear arsenal isn't the radioactive threat that the older generation nuclear arsenals are.
Yo,
And
Cat
a lot of those older arsenals still exist.
Oh yeah.
Yo, Green Badger. Sorry about that.
I'm pretty sure we still have a lot of the old arsenal, but we also just have ones because we make shit to go big.
Yep.
All right. So again, remember when we first developed the atom bomb? It was to stop a war. We developed an atom bomb as
Kefkers.
we dropped it to stop. Like the Japanese just wasn't fucking gonna stop. So we dropped a bomb. And then they didn't stop. So we dropped another. And they fucking said, okay. We'll cool it. Because at that point, Hitler was already fucking done.
Yep. I believe it was I don't remember if it was an admiral or the Japanese emperor who said the war is proceeding not entirely in our favor.
Yeah.
I believe it was I think it was the emperor.
No, it's Admiral Hirohito who said the blade of grass thing.
Yes, it was Hirohito that said the bloody grass
Hey, Green
thing.
Badger.
Stewart, who is also who will also appear in the eventual documentary, echoes Ellsberg in arguing the world is dangerously close to nuclear conflict. English, dangerously close to nuclear conflict, perhaps closer than we've been since the Cold War.
Kristen Stewart here is just talking marketing points for this documentary.
Yes.
And she's hoping it'll make her sound smart, which it doesn't.
Well, somebody's hoping that, but it's failing.
In the sizzle reel sent to potential investors of the doc, as the producers fill out the budget, Stewart praises the history-making whistleblower who died in June 2023 at age 92. Ellsberg's insider knowledge of nuclear war planning informs the film's urgent call to action. This film sounds the alarm about this threat, but also shows the solutions and the steps we can take to avert the catastrophe, she adds. Ellsberg famously made copies of the Pentagon Papers and other classified nuclear documents during the Nixon administration and leaked the documents to the New York Times and other media outlets in 1971. As a high-level Pentagon analyst, Ellsberg was charged by the United States with breaking the Espionage Act, but the case was dismissed because of government misconduct in evidence gathering. If we don't address this nuclear weapons issue, nothing else we care about, no social justice, no environmental causes, or peaceful political resolutions, movies we make, people we love, the things we care about don't matter anymore. They don't matter in a post apocalyptic wasteland still once. Again, mutually assured destruction. It's been the greatest deterrent for war since
war.
ever. Yeah. If I know you can give me a bloody nose, but I can give you a bloody nose, we're not gonna fight. You're just gonna look at each other and go, you stay on your side of the sandbox, I'll stay on mine.
Right. It's the two samurai that come to the bridge.
Yeah, and they'll just walk by each other because, again, they know they're capable. He's capable of killing me. I'm capable of killing him. It's not gonna fucking end well for either one of us.
Well, yeah. Well, they were evenly matched. So they didn't just pass each other. They both turned and went back because they knew no one was going to win. And this last, here's the important part that a lot of us are going to miss. I'm going to read that last paragraph again.
Okay.
If we don't address this nuclear weapons issue, nothing else we care about, no social justice or environmental causes or peaceful political resolutions, of which there are none at the moment, by the way. Movies we make, people we love, things we care about don't matter anymore. They don't matter in a post-apocalyptic wasteland, Stuart warns. That's the article. That's the whole point. That's what they're trying to do. They've figured out that the social justice movement ain't working because too many people realize that justice modified is justice denied. Yep. Everyone realizes that social justice is an act of tyranny.
My stance is pretty simple. I don't care, and to prove it, if the world gets blown up, I promise not to complain about it.
Yeah.
I was actually
the environment. If you'll allow me to continue real quick, so I can get this out without forgetting. The environmental causes aren't working either. The whole are showing through that curtain.
Because
political resolutions. I think she meant to say revolutions, but doesn't know how to word whatever. The movies, the way they're making movies, the woke nonsense, not working. No one's buying it.
They're actually starting to realize that too.
Yes, that's what I mean. This is a list of things. This is a list of their movements in the last 5 to 10 years that have absolutely failed.
Floundered.
Yes. That's what this last paragraph is. It's a list of their movements that have failed, their little revolutions. The people we love, that's the LGBTQIA PPPPP and my wee in my Cheerios thing.
That's the heartstrings. That's
that's the appeal to emotionalism essentially. None of it's working, and they're starting to realize it. So what are they doing? They're retreading the ground of the nuclear arms race.
Nuclear holocaust.
Yeah, they're retreading that ground in the hopes that it will help to propel people into the next tyranny. And I got news. That ain't going to work either because we already know that nuclear power is the, what's the word I'm looking for? It's the cleanest form of energy we've got.
Yeah.
We know that the threat of nuclear war is what prevents nuclear war. As we've already stated, mutually assured destruction. No one wants to push that button. Eventually, there's going to be one nut job.
But at that point, like, I'm pretty sure, even if there was that nut job, there would be some safeguard around him, that nut job to go like, look, you push that button and the planet's gone.
Maybe.
I'm not going to complain.
I mean, look at Anthony Fauci and the Fauci virus. He pushed a button. Look at all the people that we assume are good people who let him push a button.
Mm-hmm.
And still nothing's been done about it. We're going to see someone push that button. We really are.
Push that button.
But there's
I just hope it's not in my lifetime.
There's no Kristen Stewart that's going to prevent it.
Yeah. Okay. You don't think the chick from Twilight has the secret to world peace?
No. That's right,
Okay.
Kefk. A big, threatening red button with flashing lights and sounds. The whole shit and caboodle. And someone's going to go, ooh, pretty, what's that do?
Yeah.
What's this button do?
Mhm.
Might just be a president of the United States. Incidentally, when it comes to Trump, there's only 4 years that we can get out of him legally. And after that, then what? Assuming that he is the guy for the job, then what? What's the plan after that?
Yeah.
Because no one wants to talk about that part. I'm sorry, I sidetracked myself there, but I felt I had to.
Uh-huh. That's
Honestly,
okay. I'm not even going to bother because...
Let's give Kefk the button. For Kefk, we'll paint it like a candy corn.
no, you can't put the button, Kefk. Stop trying to put. Don't make me get the water gun. I will. I will spray you. Get away from the button, Kefk. Let's do a traditional asshole story.
Well, mine's a little chapped. Wait, different story. Okay.
Don't eat the button either.
How else is she going to hide it?
But she eats it. Then ew. God damn it! It won't let me. This goddamn net of mine.
What? It's not going to let you pull up your asshole?
Nope, it won't.
This internet of his.
It's not. It's being an asshole while I'm trying to look for an asshole. All right, there it is. Thank you, G's. All right. Let me put on the traditional banners, so we can. Wait a minute. There we are.
Everyone, put on your ass hat.
Put on your ass hat. No, that doesn't sound too good. This one. Am I the asshole for not wanting a freebie?
Okay, where's the link?
I'm about to put it in. Sorry.
I'm
Copy.
afraid.
Chat. Probably chat. That's unnecessary. I put it in the. It is in main chat, so people can read along at their leisure. Sorry about that. Totally forgot.
Right. There we go.
All right. Am I the asshole for not wanting a freebie?
What kind of freebie?
I don't know. All right.
I'm a little bit scared.
My son is dating a girl whose parents are well off. She has a 5-year-old son. She's a single woman. They are somewhat serious. She lives with her parents. They both are in their 30s. My wife and I work, and so does my son. I just found out that she's been spending her food stamp chits to purchase food that she then prepares for all of us as a gesture of goodwill. I loudly and forcefully declared that the woman with a child who is eligible for food stamps shouldn't be using them to feed 3 other grown-ass folk who's working. My wife and son insist, but she wants to, so we can't stop her. I'm literally rolling inside.
How dare that bitch make food for other people? What a cunt.
And I don't want to have anything to do with these gestures. I believe the situation is complicated by racial. Oh God, he's a leftist.
You're an ass.
Racial
yes, you're an asshole.
By racial and class undertones. She is white and my son is black. And my family thinks I'm being an asshole about all of this because I don't want any part of these government subsidized communions. Yes, you are the asshole, dude.
It's even got a very simple solution. You accept the free food, but then you say, let me make you dinner as a repayment, and then you've evened the score. She's done a nice thing, and she still has food to feed a family. You don't say, fuck you, how dare you use your money to do nice things for me.
It's
I'm-
complicated, man, because I understand where the writer's coming from. He doesn't want to be a recipient of a government handout. I understand that. I
But
absolutely
it's not-
understand that. But at the same time, he's not the recipient of a government handout.
No, he's not.
She is.
She
No,
is.
he's the recipient of the goodwill of others.
Yes, and he
Yes.
should take it in that spirit.
Absolutely.
I'm pretty sure when she goes to buy food with her food stamps, she's not buying like a single item. What's the word I'm looking for? She's not buying like, oh, I'm getting this TV dinner just for my son and I, and oh shit, I gotta feed these people. I gotta take away from my son's food to give to them. I'm pretty sure she's buying, fucking spaghetti. Spaghetti.
Yeah.
Oh, I made spaghetti.
That isn't what this guy's saying. What this guy's saying is, I am a proud black, I'm going to assume man, who is not on welfare, who is eating food that is bought with welfare.
Yeah, but like,
And it's not, the guy's an asshole because he's taking what is hospitality and looking at it as charity.
well, I think it's just if someone offers you something and it's offered in good faith, it's not like they're trying to be mean. If they're trying to do a nice thing for you, I think it's incredibly rude to say, no, I don't want that. Like,
Yeah,
Well,
you don't
yeah,
go
exactly.
to
I
someone's
mean-
house and refuse their hospitality.
Yeah.
That is
No,
not
guy.
okay.
I mean, if it was, if she gave him a tie for his birthday, would he turn that down?
yeah, exactly.
Why?
I'm actually wondering if he would, if she got it
Me
with
too.
like
Because
welfare money.
I would make the comparison of me and like my first girlfriend. Like she decided to be nice and she cooked me dinner. Now it was not good, but I didn't say, "Oh God, this is awful." I ate it and I thanked her for doing it because she was being nice, and I don't want to stop doing nice things.
Well,
So,
plus
like-
you got to remember something too. Well, this old guy, the writer needs to remember something. The government's paying for the food, but she's supplying the effort
Yeah,
and the labor,
labor.
and the creativity, and
So
the compassion and whatnot.
And I don't think she's cooking for them every night. She's
No,
probably
no.
like,
So
Yeah.
for this situation, could we go down the road of saying that he believes he is a strong, independent black man that don't need a woman?
don't need no government handout.
But yes.
And
I'm
like I
trying to
said,
hold that joke in for a while now.
I understand that, but is he demonstrating more integrity by not taking the food, or by completely ignoring her part in its preparation? Which part is bringing him more integrity?
I don't think all right, so again, it is one thing. She's I'm pretty sure she's not doing it every night. Secondly, it is a gesture of goodwill and faith. I'm dating your son, and I want to show my appreciation. I want to show my deference to his parents. That I can.
Yes.
I want to show I want to show my prospective in-laws that I can take care of their child.
I want to do something nice for my prospective in-laws because I want to do something nice for them because I love their son.
Why can't
Yes.
it be I invited someone into my home, I'm going to be hospitable?
Right. Well, that's what I mean. You don't invite someone into your home that you don't want there, so she clearly wants them there.
Well, that all depends
Yes.
on culture. Different cultures are different in that whole situation.
That's true.
But still, comparatively to where this is set in America, and majority of American customs is to do something like that. It doesn't have to be exuberant. It doesn't have to be something major. You don't have to go above and beyond and out of your way. It's a small token of appreciation, or just token of gratitude, or just kind of being respectful. It's a mixture of things.
And if the situation were the same, but she were black, would he take the food without question?
Very
He does sound a little racist.
Well, we don't know. We don't know. It could be that he's picking up on her
He
being
did
the
make-
white savior.
He did make a point of pointing out that she was white.
That she is a white woman.
Right, but we're adding that inflection to his words.
No, we're not.
I did that purposely.
Wait a minute. I also believe the situation is complicated by racial and class undertones. Like he's already done it. He's
said-
already
No. I'm with you on that, but in his writing, where we find it. I believe the situation is complicated by racial and class undertones. She is white. My son is black. But he never said she is a white woman. You know, he didn't say it in French or with that kind of an accent. He wrote out white and black. He didn't add any inflection to it. We did that.
No, I did that purposely.
Yes. I'm just saying that, you know, either the way he writes it is kind of neutral in saying that I think there may be it may be complicated by a racial undertone, because he could either be admitting that I don't want to take nothing from no white woman, or he could be picking up on her projecting a bit of, well, I have to do this stuff because they're black. You know, it's my duty as a white person to do something nice for black people. And
it didn't really
either one of those
sound like
scenarios
that.
is possible.
It sounded like no, because of the way he wrote it. It did not sound like his problem is necessarily that she's white, so much as he resents the fact that this white girl came into his family and put him in a situation where he was accepting handouts from the government after he had gone so long not doing so on
but
purpose.
that is still a projection.
Not really.
It is.
It's
us reading into what he writes. I'm reading in two possibilities where he's being racist or she is. Not even you know, ultra racist, but just
I'm not
where
even
you might
reading
pick
in.
up on something.
I'm not even reading in him being racist. Anybody being racist. I'm not viewing it as anyone being racist. I am viewing specifically the people who are too proud.
Well, he says it right here.
To
I don't
ask
want
for
any part of these government subsidized communities. He's saying this right here. I don't want this. You know,
He is too proud to take government
handouts. I don't want any part of these. And it puts in quotation marks communities, so that he, you know, again, it's him. I don't think it's a racial thing. It's more like, hey, I'm too uppity to accept, you know, someone making food for me because it's government. It came from, you know, food stamps.
the government. Exactly.
You know,
I'm too good for your food stamp food.
I think the race thing is a non sequitur. But let's see, is a strong independent weasel. sorry, I got caught up reading the Kefk thing. But I think the race thing is a red herring.
I do too.
I think it's a
it's
red
a
herring.
strong independent weasel, and I don't need no garden devil.
Yeah. I think mostly what we're dealing with here is the man's pride.
Exactly.
Probably.
And he needs to get over that.
He's an asshole. All right, stat him up. Where does he fall?
I think he's an asshole, and it's just he's putting too much of. He doesn't want to use it as a crutch. He doesn't want to accept it for anything more than just he thinks he's better than either he thinks he's better than that, or he thinks other people will think that he's lesser.
I
So
set him
I
up
give him like
as.
12.
Go ahead, Martin.
So I give him like a 12.
Wow, that's a high bar. Yeah.
Well,
Well-
I mean, our max is 25, right?
No, max is 15, but
Oh,
25 is.
Then he's like a 6 or 7.
I give him a 10.
Yeah,
And
I'm
here's
leaning
why.
8 to 10.
I give him a 10, and here's why. If it was just his ego that was being hurt in all of this, I would probably go with Rotten and be like a 6 or whatever. But he's actually being rude and probably hurting the feelings of his son's girlfriend, wife,
is it?
whatever she is. He is being rude because of his ego, and it makes him that much more of an ass.
Yeah, I'm going 8 to 10 because he's being prideful.
What is the point of OP bringing up the fact that her parents are well off? How does that have any bearing on the question? Again, it was him trying to set up the situation.
I think
he-
it also indicates that he thinks that she doesn't need the food
Well.
stamps as well.
But that's her parents' money, not hers.
I know.
Like, just because my father is Jackie Chan doesn't mean I'm rich.
Did you say
Right,
your
there,
father's Jackie Chan?
It reminded me of a situation where like Jackie Chan's daughter is like poor as fuck.
See, there's, I think it was Warren Buffett. Everyone knows how rich Warren Buffett is, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
And when asked about how he's going to provide for his children when he dies, he had said that he's going to give them enough to do something, but not enough to do nothing.
That's fair.
Well, that was like, I still think my personal favorite is Shaquille O'Neal, to where his kids tried to say that they're rich, and Shaquille O'Neal looked his kids directly in the face. He says, "No, I'm rich. You're not. You're my kids."
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, I will provide for you while you're children, but
You better,
That's the-
when you leave here, you better have a plan.
yeah, again, you are not.
Which is actually the best thing that he's going to do for those kids.
Well,
Yes, it
he probably gave them a little bit of something to make sure they could survive, but he's not going to go through and being like, "Oh, I'm going to take care of everything you want to do."
Yeah, and he's not going to buy them a string of art galleries.
Yeah.
A string of art galleries for one, 6 sports teams for another. He's not going to do that.
Look, he's black. He's probably already wasted all the money he made playing basketball.
Probably.
Shaq is actually far more intelligent than people give him credit for.
Yeah, it's kind of like how, well, he was one of the few that somehow got to more of a star, but it's kind of like how you don't hear how linemen for the NFL, they don't get the multi-million-dollar contracts, but they still make do very well. But you don't hear about them going broke. It's predominantly star players, and it's not all of them.
Right.
It's usually young star players.
Yes.
Someone that got drafted straight out of high school or college and just they get their first million and they go nuts. All right. I think we got time for one more. Let's see.
Grab a drink.
Am I the asshole for not being calling my parents by their job titles?
No.
Reading as
Are
written.
you working with them?
Well, let's find out.
And are you in a meeting?
I
Yeah.
read it as it was written.
Do we have a link? There it is.
Yes, we do.
Here it is.
There it is.
Tears Asian confirmed. Okay.
Where the hell did it?
Okay, I've read the first sentence. This person is an asshole.
Damn. It's in chat, main chat. Before I begin, yes, These are my they're my biological parents, unfortunately. Okay, yes,
Yep.
you are the asshole.
I don't even need
Although
to read the rest. I don't care about the rest of the situation. That sentence alone, you're the asshole.
although I resemble almost no one from my family, somehow I'm related. Not sure though. I never took a DNA test. You're an asshole.
Wow, you're
Off
an
top.
ass.
Simply put, they think me not addressing them properly is absolutely disrespectful. What did I address them as? He or she. During the during and oh God, Jesus Christ, child, learn to write. During an argument, if I mention any one of them as he or she, I'm told I'm being absolutely disrespectful. Example, if I'm talking to my dad and I call out my mom as she did this or that. So I'm getting the sense that she goes, she did this, you know, dismissively.
No, I'm not even thinking dismissively. I'm thinking accusatorily.
Oh, that
Like
makes sense.
this is all their fault because they did this.
Now I do.
shifting. And
Now, oh, go ahead.
we lose Mitch.
We lost Mitch.
Yeah, we
oh.
did.
Yeah, we lost
Sorry,
Mitch.
Mitch.
No, that's all right. I clicked when I should have clicked.
Oh,
'cause I'm an
natural
idiot.
zigging when you should have zagged.
Yep.
God
I
damn it,
normally
Mitch! Don't.
zagged when I should have zigged.
All right. Where was
But
I?
no, this sounds like a blame shift, or plausibly, and this is going out on a limb, and that they're probably pointing at said parent saying she or he did this, which, again, not necessarily relevant, and does sound like trying to do a blame shifting or just quite literally saying, no, they're at fault for this happening.
All right. Now I do call them mom/dad, but pronouns slip as we always as this has always been the way I communicate with people. Why do you have a question mark? Like, but if I do so with my parents, suddenly I have to call them Mr. or Mrs. or by their job titles like doctor. It's it's your mom or dad or we're your parents. How dare you call us this way, he or she? Did we not raise you well enough? I'm sorry.
Okay, so far now it's all of them are assholes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, look, well, I can see the kid if he's been dealing with this for years. I could see where he would come off as an asshole at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna just put this one up tentatively. I could be wrong. Just going to throw that up there. Just tentatively.
I already kind of agree with it.
All right. I've been living. I'm sorry. Listen, I may be living under a rock, lacking in the head or something, but I don't know the sick new parenting ways parents got. But this ticked in a place I didn't know I could be ticked. I don't like it, and you have to stop it. They stirred the argument towards that always. God damn it. They stirred the argument toward that always rather than discuss the actual point. I can't be the only one thinking this is too much. I don't know if I'm the only person running into this issue. Do other parents do this? I'm not even talking to them. Well, I can't completely do that, but I avoid them as much as I can. Almost never leave my room. Am I really mannerless if I find it hard to believe? God damn it.
One, their parents are definitely assholes for the whole thing of in any other situation they need to be referred to by as doctor or Mr. or Mrs. It's like, bro, they're your kid. Like,
Well, I don't think that's what's happening. I get the impression that if the kid says if the kid's arguing with his parents and he says to his father, "That's not what she said," and the father's like, "That's your mom. That's not what your mom said." That kind of thing is what I'm getting. And he's using the Dr. Mr. Mrs. thing as an extreme example of the logical conclusion.
A gross exaggeration.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that you said it better, a gross exaggeration. I think
don't
he's
know,
using it that way.
Feels
But
a
it's
lot
so
like
badly
rich
written.
people.
It sounds like an entitled brat being spoiled, and the parents yelling at him, and he's getting pissy.
Well,
The kid's an asshole for saying it's unfortunate that I'm related to my parents. That's a dick thing to say.
that is really
That's
shitty.
very dick to say.
But
No, I don't think it is.
beyond that, I'm like, this sounds like, okay. When I was a kid, my grandparents had their youngest son's wedding in their backyard. Now, I had a really wild vocabulary for somebody my age. But when I had to go to the bathroom, I would say, I need to go pee. And I had to tell my mom where I was if I was not in her line of sight. So I go to my mom. I'm like, I gotta go pee. And the lady that she's talking to is her being my uncle's new wife. It's her mother. And she looks at me and goes, "Don't you mean you have to urinate, dear?"
And then you
I'm
said,
5 years old.
I gotta take a piss.
I'm 5 years old. I look at her and say, "No, I gotta go pee." And I run to the house to go to the bathroom.
No, I gotta pee. You want me to demonstrate in your shoe?
But if there's I also know for a fact that when they were in discussions or social settings, she was expected to refer to them by their in a very formal
I guess
aspect. So
See, for me,
I can go ahead.
I would refer to my dad as he. Like I'll say, my dad used to, like, every time my dad saw this song on the radio, he would tell me that, like, I'm not going to say every time Mr. Diamantis, my father, saw this song on TV, Mr. Diamantis, my father, would comment that he liked it. That doesn't
It sounds
like a
to me.
way to talk.
It honestly sounds to me like a case I've mentioned before, where parents accuse you of being selfish if you disagree with them.
Yes.
Or if your interests don't lie along the same path as theirs. But that's what this sounds. This sounds like the parents are successfully using a kind of verbal kung fu to win an argument, and honestly, the kid needs to step up his argument game. But
well, the kid's an asshole.
Well, the kid's kind of an asshole, but he's being raised by assholes, so that's natural progression.
I was going to say.
I'm just saying the kid could use his asshole powers to defeat his asshole tendencies by putting his parents in their place, by keeping them on topic and not letting them change the
subject.
The subject of the argument. If he can do that, he wins. They get put in their place, and he doesn't have to go through life being an asshole anymore.
All right,
and he's developed a skill.
I've never called my mother mom, mother, anything like that. I've always called her by her first name, her given name. Now, it wasn't disrespectful or anything. I knew she was my mother, and I didn't do.
I would hope so.
Yeah, like I didn't. What's the word I'm looking for? I wasn't disrespectful. Like, she was Cheryl. Like, that's all she said. Don't call me mother. That just makes me sound weird. I didn't. She never liked it. It wasn't. Again, it wasn't a disrespectful thing. It was what she wanted me to call her.
Yeah, that all goes based upon the person and that. Because, like, yeah, I still call my parents mom and dad and whatnot, except for when I was a bit younger and I was trying to be a little bit annoying because I was trying to get their attention and they were wanting to ignore. So instead of just being like mother or father, I would start saying fatherin and motherin.
Yeah.
They'd be like, "The fuck are you saying?" They'd be like, "Oh, I got your attention now, didn't I?"
Gotcha, didn't. I mean,
this really
but-
sounds to me like a family that is hyper formal and a kid whose friends' families are not like that.
Maybe.
well,
And
they're doctors, so
And it just
Yeah,
doesn't make sense to them.
Yeah, because I'm thinking about it. There's no situation where I would have called my dad by his first name. Like if I was talking to him, like if I wanted to get his attention, I would say, "Hey, Dad," not "Hey, George."
Right.
He's dead, so it doesn't matter if you know his first name. You know, you can't destroy his life.
why
yeah.
would we?
No. But just like
He's saying he
public.
doxed
This
his
is like
dad.
anyone could be watching, but it doesn't matter if random internet user finds out my dad's name. He's dead. They can't do anything to him.
And it's not like he's watching.
No, I would be very impressed if he was.
Indeed.
I would be too.
But I'm kind of leaning toward the guy who wrote the letter is an asshole because he needs to learn how to communicate effectively. That's very inefficient and ineffective communication, and it's probably why he's losing all the arguments. Dude needs to step up his game, like I said, and his parents are just bastards. Fuck them.
Yeah. Again, they sound uppity because they're doctors and whatnot, and just again, this whole everyone's an asshole involved in this one, and I'm giving this all three of them, mother, father, and child. I'm giving them 13s.
I'm going to
That
give
was
the parents 10 and the kid 7.
That was a
That
dick thing to
sounds good.
say earlier, in the beginning, and I'm giving them 13 because I had to read through that horrible, garbled mess.
Wait, I'm changing my scores. The kid is going to stay a 7. The parents are moving up to 13 because they are. I'm assuming this is still a teenager, so he's still under the parents'
Authority.
thumb, as it were, authority.
Yeah.
And they're doing nothing to achieve a solid set of communication skills for this kid, and they're doing nothing to basically I think they are being abusive in the way they're using his inability to communicate effectively against him. They are being very bad parents. Fuck them.
They're manipulating. They're manipulating.
Yeah, basically they're behaving like cops and feminists behave. Fuck 'em.
Actually, I'm kind of wondering whether that doctor is actually a psychiatrist.
I don't think that he is a doctor. I think that was just the gross exaggeration.
I'm
Yeah,
just
I think it was
saying
an
if he
example
is.
of- I think it was
Because
an
this,
example, not saying that was his title. This is like they want me to call them things like Mr., Mrs., Doctor.
Right.
It's-
But again, if the kid could write effectively, we'd know.
Yeah.
it would not
I'm gonna say
surprise
this-
me to find out that one of this kid's parents is a psychiatrist.
Sean asks a good question. Is the kid an SJW trying to make his parents look bad? Maybe, but for the sake of argument, we kind of have to take
You
these.
can only go
letters
with
at
what's
face value.
represented.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can't make that inference.
We have to judge the scenario based on the facts presented. These facts, however, are uncoordinated. These facts are loaded with non sequiturs, and we can't even identify them all.
Yep.
Because it's written so badly.
I am
yeah,
still
everyone's an
going
asshole.
to reiterate, I would not be surprised to find out if one of this kid's parents is a psychiatrist, if not both. Because this actually sounds like some bullshit that I've seen psychiatrists play.
I could see that.
all right.
Some of this also
Okay.
kind of sounds like some of the shit that I've had for the military where someone wants to be like, well, I'm the cool NCO. Hey, why are you doing that? Blah, blah. It's like, I thought you were the cool NCO and not going to be a fucking jackass.
Right. Yeah, until it's his ass on the line.
No, until they see something that they don't agree with, and now obviously everyone else has to deal with it.
See, I just would have called that being a parent.
All right. Okay. Tari has to go get something to eat, and it's about 2 hours in.
Oh yeah.
So we should be shutting down.
So it's about this time.
Yes. All right, Tari. Please
I keep saying you can keep streaming without me. I'm gonna go, but you can go an extra 5 hours if you really want to. I don't care.
Shit, didn't I tell you before, Tari? You are my benchmark, and if I don't shut down, I'm gonna be up all damn night, and I need to get some sleep.
Yeah, but you always sound annoyed, as if it's like my fault. You have to end the stream. It's like, look, you don't. You can keep going if you want.
Oh, Terry, he's using you as an excuse so he doesn't look like a dick.
Tari, if I'm coming off, if my tone is coming off like that, I'm sorry. It's not that. My mistake. My bad, bro. It's not.
No, it's just yeah. It seems like it's like, oh god, we got to end because some dickhead needs to go fucking eat.
No,
Tari,
Tari.
You don't. You really don't.
Again, Tari, I'm sorry if my tone comes off that way.
No. I'm just saying that's why I was telling you. It's like, no, you can keep going if you want.
I need to get some sleep anyway, so.
But Terry, leaves the graphic up. I want to point.
He's got to work tomorrow, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I work. So.
Terry, I told you, you are basically his excuse to not look like an old man.
Shut up! Shut it!
Well, I don't know. Just don't need an excuse. It's just like, okay, it's been 2 hours. It's the end of the show. We're shutting it down.
What kind of hornet's nest did we stir up here?
This is what we do. Tari, please tell me the Daily Wire has gotten back to you.
No. I continue to not give the slightest shit about Israel, and I don't think they like that.
Crowder is looking for talent. I think you can do it.
Yeah, but I don't like Crowder, so that's out.
Tenet, come on now. Tenet is looking for.
Hey, look. I mean, roaming millennial is nice to look at and all, but I don't know. I don't think I would want to sign up with that seems like a lot of pressure.
God damn it, how are you killing me? You're killing me. Cake, yogurt, and Young Turks. Come on now. Oh, come, please.
After my Pepper Coyote tweet, they probably don't want anything to do with me ever again. Well, I shouldn't say ever again because there was no first time, but ever.
I'm pretty sure Ethan Klein is looking for a partner.
Oh, geez.
No, again, I don't care about Israel.
Ethan Klein can go fuck himself.
He can. I'm not even gonna try to get you on the view. After what you said about Whoopi Goldberg, she's never gonna let you on that show.
Thank God.
All right. Tari is on Mr. Adams' Monday Minions Night. He's on Hammer's Minions Night, which is Monday and Wednesdays. He's on Johnny Hellcats whenever he does a game thing or tortures how you make friends.
Mm-hmm.
He's on the corner on Fridays.
On Saturday.
Or Saturdays, or whenever Frosty decides he's fucking gonna do it. He's also, if Frosty doesn't have his corner on Fridays, he'll do a game stream with Gunsky. Did y'all beat Shadowgate yet?
Yep, we did.
So what's the next game y'all gonna play?
I think we agreed on Monkey Island 2, but I know he was we were talking about Monkey Island 2. I don't know if he settled on that or not. Okay.
All right. Well, he also is on 6 of Silver Screams, and is there anything else you're on?
I think that's everything. There's some black guy who keeps inviting me on for some reason. We do that every his Saturday, my Sunday. I don't know. That's not important though.
Okay, well, he's an asshole then.
Okay.
Rodney, we're doing Face Off.
Yes. Also, I'm going to promote my last 2 videos I put out. The one where I did the YouTube reading, and I think I have a whatever the fuck I made for the title of it that I'm going to start doing some basically more pondering. And whatnot, just because I think I'm going to try to do a video once every couple weeks.
Okay.
Just try to grow, see if I get anywhere. Either way.
Okay. Angela, are you gonna be on Quippers tonight?
I think so. I'm not 100% sure. Sometimes Jack's answers are a little open-ended.
Okay.
Like his butthole.
Yeah.
That's not
Cha.
something I needed.
I think Gunsky pretty much always needs guests for Quippers, so it's pretty real, consistent that he'll probably need you if you're.
Oh
available.
yeah, I forgot to mention you're on Quippers with Jack Gunsky. My bad, my.
No, that's it. Yeah.
James will be on Quippers tonight because he's a regular. Angela is also at some point going to do the comic book curation stuff. I can't wait for that. Mitch, is there anything you want to promote?
Me on Rumble.
Yes.
But I've been in a content drought till I get this thing done. It has to get out of my head. And I'm thinking of just blasting it out there as is. Leaving it unrefined. Just so everyone can just piss off. Well, see, I'm the one putting all the pressure on me, not everyone else.
I mean, you can always go through, put what you have now, and then do updates later on.
Well, what I have now is I've made a chart that I think I've showed it to you guys about the 13 films.
Yeah.
Which it grew another trilogy since then. God damn it.
God damn it, Mitch.
I know, because it occurred to me how to make a third Michael Myers trilogy that still stays within the framework, and God damn it, now but I'm not adding that in because it's too much already. God damn it, and it's given me a brain lock. So I'm thinking about just going with describing laying out the two Michael Myers trilogies, and just the rest is just filler.
Okay.
With no great detail. Go on.
I do kind of feel like I planted that worm, and I'm sorry.
What do you mean?
Because you started off with like a little idea about it, and then I got super excited about when you were going to make your video talking about.
Oh, yeah, but that was the last video I did.
Michael Myers. And then all of a sudden you got like super expensive on.
No, what happened was I made that video about Michael Myers not wanting to kill Laurie Strode, and here's the evidence in the movie to back it up in the original Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
And from that, everything else kind of
snowballed.
It's a lot of it sprang. The first trilogy sprang into my head fully formed. With the A plot and the two B plots, and how to make the whole how to give Myers a motive that makes sense and will keep him consistent throughout many trilogies. A lot of that just it hit me, and I had to start writing it down.
Okay.
But it's been a hell of a project, but only because I keep going through and doing rewrites. Because I've got it all written out. I need to tighten it up properly. It's a pain in the ass to do. But yeah, right. I'm thinking about just going balls to the walls with it and just saying, okay, fuck it, here it is. Complain about it in the comments. Thank you. Good night.
All right. Go ahead.
That's the way it goes sometimes.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it has been the Midnight Show. Morning Crew is coming in soon. Want to thank you all for joining us. Please look at the GoFundMe for James Colley. He can really use some help. He's too proud to ask. I don't know who's going to be on next week. Ron, I just remembered something, but I'll tell you that after the show. All right, good night, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Have a good one, folks.
Night.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, our show has come to an end. You will never get by me, Trash Panda. We'd like to thank our guests for joining us. We'd like to thank you for joining us. I will end your bloodline. You will not survive. We'd like to invite you to join us next week for the next installment of the show. You will never make it out of your life. I shall kill you.